good afternoon. My name is Donna Feazell, and I'm your host of The Edge on IAC Radio, your source for news and entertainment. You can also find us on television, channel 182, on Charter Communications and Abundance Television, which is found on Roku, Apple TV, and Amazon Fire. Please don't forget the podcast, netnewsnetwork.net. Really happy to be part of this program, and it's really super awesome. You'll also find lots of really good talk show hosts. Again, it's netnewsnetwork.net. You know what we're going to talk about today? Have you ever heard of pink tax? It says because of pink tax, the average woman pays an extra $1,351 every year just for being a woman. What's that about? We got to pay more because we're women? My goodness. Let's dig into this. I found this on mint.intuit.com. mint.intuit.com. So what is pink tax? Why women pay more for the same stuff? So let's dig in just a little bit. Now, the pink tax refers to the trend where women actually pay more for the same product as men. I mean, it could be anything. It could be like, razors, and it could be just anything, but we're going to talk about how to avoid the pink tax. Okay, so if you're even comparison shopping in the deodorant aisle, you may have encountered a strange price disparity. Products like razors, toothbrushes, and even prescription drugs marketed toward women all tend to cost more for no reason other than the fact that they're pink. Yeah, so let's find out why. It isn't just terms or items that you picked up at the store that women pay more for either. Sometimes women are often charged more for mortgages, car loans, and services like dry cleaning. I thought that odd, because when I would have suits dry cleaned, mine always cost more to dry clean than Phil's did for a suit. Weird. And also, women also tend to receive less funding when starting a business. Across many industries, women pay more than men 42% of the time. Compounded with the fact that women often make less than men, their overall wealth is just 32 cents to every man's dollar. Their purchasing power is greatly reduced. And really, I'm not like anti-men or anything like that. I love my husband. But this is reality, okay? So whether it's a trip to the store or major financial decision, it's critical to understand that what you're really paying for and that you're actually getting the deal you deserve. So let's just keep on until we figure this out. So what is the pink tax? Women pay $1,351 more every year for the same products. Okay, so the pink tax refers to gender-based pricing. This is where women pay for more items marketed towards them, while comparable products marketed toward men are more cheaper. So it does not usually refer to an actual tax placed on a woman's products. The exception to this is when talking about the sales tax placed on feminine hygiene products. This is because they're categorized as luxuries. Why is that? Luxuries rather than necessities, which some argue should not be the case. I'll argue that point. For example, if you were to pick up a men and women's razor in the personal care aisle at the store, this is from the New York Department of Consumer Affairs, they found that a pack of women's razors would cost an average of $8.90, while the men's would only cost $7.99. Now that's an 11% difference that does add up. And the pattern continues across more than just personal care products. So the organization found that clothes, children's toys, and home care goods were more expensive too. So across all the products, women pay 7% more on average. Now this pricing disparity results in women paying $1,351 more every year for the same products as men. Now, the gendered pricing carries over to large ticket items as well. So when shopping for cars, homes, women are more likely to pay more for men. So let's find out why that is. That's not a bit fair. A study found that when women bought used cars, they were twice as likely to be quoted a higher price than men and pay an average of 2% points more. It could be because we complain more, but anyway. Women of color pay even more, as their quotes averaged at 4 percentage points higher than white men. Now, when getting their cars repaired, a study of Northwestern found women more likely to be quoted a higher price. I have always noticed that. Because what could happen, and I did a little trick one time. We were living in Anniston at the time. Something happened to my BMW. So I take it up there, and it's like you could practically see the dollar signs in this guy's eyes. Because he's thinking, oh, they're going on a trip here pretty soon. Then later, Phil took the same car, talked to the same guy, and guess what? The cost was less quoted. It could be because, I didn't know what the heck. And then so Phil knew the questions to ask. But anyway, I was quoted more than Phil was. So when getting your cars repaired, this means you need to go shopping, okay? Now, when the main mortgage interest rate is 4% higher for women, though some argue this is because women are less likely to compare mortgage prices, but I compare. Okay, studies have found that women pay more for car insurance in 25 states. So let's talk about common pink tax items. Now, what do women pay more for? The average markup and price difference on women's products across five key industries. Personal care, we pay 13% more than men do. I think I'll just start using Phil's razor. He's not going to like that. But anyway, I think I may start doing that. As a matter of fact, who cares if it's blue? I'll go ahead and use a blue razor. It doesn't have to be a pink one. Adult clothing. Women pay 8% more, about $3.08 more. Home health care, 8% more, $1.73. Toys and accessory for girls, 7% more. Kids clothing, little girls clothing is 4% higher. This is based on New York City Department of Consumer Affairs. It was a 2015 study. Now, the study conducted by the New York City Department of Consumer Affairs analyzed 794 items across 35 product types. There are a number of items women pay more for. Okay, children's items. On average, girls' clothing items cost 7% more. In addition, girls' accessories like helmets and toys like scooters and bikes cost 4% more than the boy version. I'd like to know why. We're going to see if this article tells us. Now, adult clothing for comparable items like jeans, button-up shirts from the same manufacturers now as men's clothing, women pay an average of 8% more. Personal care, and this is the industry with the highest markup for women's products, with products costing an average of 13% more. This includes razors, hair care, deodorant, and body wash. Home health care, products like braces, digestive medicine, and compression socks are 8% more expensive on average for women. Now, I'm not trying to rile all of us women up or anything like that. I'm just giving us all a reality check. You might want to think about what you buy. Let's just use razors again for an example. It's the same thing, so why buy women's razors when you buy men's razors and save more money? Now, services. Women pay more for dry cleaning and haircuts than men do. Even when they bring the same shirt or request a short haircut. The California Assembly's Office of Research found 64% of dry cleaners charge women more for an identical shirt and 40% more for short cuts. Other services susceptible to the pink tax include car insurance and repairs. Now, we're getting into why. I always want to know why on everything anyway. So, why do women pay more? So let's talk about this. Now, the reasons for women paying more for the same goods and services are varied as the product and industries themselves. As with many issues in inequality, there are costs or causes that intentionally are discriminatory and others that are driven by precedent and profits. So, production differences. It's possible that in some instances, product marketed to more women are more expensive because of the small changes in manufacturing. Could be like color, require additional materials at a higher rate, or if a product requires different materials, it's made at a slightly smaller scale. Now, the cost for these additional materials may be distributed among fewer consumers, which increases the price, supply versus demand. Tariffs. Not all the responsibility of the pink tax falls on brands and manufacturers. So tariffs charged on the the import of international goods are often higher on women's products, so most of the United States apparel imports are gendered. And the average rate on women's clothing is 15.1%, while men's clothing is taxed at 11.9%. I said we need to have it all done here in the United States anyway. Price sensitivity. Now, some manufacturers may find that women are less price conscious to their products than men. I agree with that. This means that they're more likely to purchase a product regardless of whether the price goes up or down. If this is the case, then companies will likely charge more for women's products simply because they can. The belief that women are less price sensitive may be outdated, though. A recent study found that 2/3 of women were likely to use their phones in store to compare prices, whereas only half the men would. And I don't want you to get ripped off by this pink tax either. So let's go ahead and go into a commercial break. We're going to be right back in just a few minutes. The Hatter Cafe and Country Inn is nestled in the northeast corner of Alabama the Beautiful in the delightful town of Mentone. We're located on top of scenic Lookout Mountain near Little River and DeSoto State Park and located only 5 minutes from shopping and restaurants. There is also a nearby community walking path and golf course. We welcome everyone through the doors and we are committed to outstanding service for all guests. At the Hatter Cafe and Country Inn, we invite people from all walks of life to come and get away from it all, enjoy the open spaces, treetop views, fresh, clean air, and experience Southern hospitality at its finest. We look forward to hosting you. To reserve a special event, or if you would love a special getaway at the Country Inn, you can call us at 256-634-2018.
Hello, I'm Mike Lindell, and my employees and I want to thank each and every one of you for your continued support. With everything going on right now, your rest is so important. That's why we're having the biggest MyPillow sale ever. Not only are my bed pillows as low as $19.98, but you can get the best body pillows ever. Regular $89.98, now only $29.98. Take your rest on the go with our Roll and Go Anywhere MyPillows for only $14.98. And we have our new couch and accent pillows. They aren't just for looks. They have MyPillow's patented adjustable fill that gives you that amazing MyPillow comfort. In this economy, you get the best gifts ever for the best prices ever. So go to MyPillow.com or call the number on your screen. Use your promo code and you get deep discounts on body, couch, bolster pillows, and so much more, including my original bed pillows for as low as $19.98. Please order now while quantities last.
Are you ready?
We all wonder what tomorrow will bring, but the future lays itself at the feet of the prepared and surrenders to the will of the persistent. It's not easy, but today shapes you so you can shape tomorrow. With Northeast Alabama Community College, when the future asks if you're ready, you can answer.
Yes.
Begin your future at Northeast Alabama Community College.
Donna's Designs offers a line of handmade memorial, wedding, and keepsake jewelry that launched back in 1970. I'm a self-trained jewelry designer, and I will work closely with you to create unique designs you can love and treasure for years to come. Whether that be flowers that were used in a funeral arrangement or stones you found on the beach at a memorable trip, call me at 256-659-4319, and let's think of the possibilities.
The only place I buy my beef is Lone Tree Ranch in Collinsville, Alabama. Their cattle is born and raised on their ranch, grass and grain fed, and you can feel confident when you serve your family and friends because their beef is all natural and no antibiotics or hormones are added. You can buy whole beef or perhaps go in with family or friends and buy half. Their customer service is number one as they take care of the delivery to their local processor and can deliver to your home for a small added fee. They also offer herd replacement heifers. I always call Lone Tree Ranch in Collinsville, Alabama for my beef specialty recipes and cookouts, and you can too. Food shortages are increasing, so buy local by calling 256-523-6462. That's 256-523-6462.
Lamone's Mexican Restaurant, located in Henniger, Alabama, and voted Best Mexican Restaurant of DeKalb County, Alabama 2020. We're here to serve you with authentic Mexican cuisine. Order easily online by going to lamonsmex.com or call 256-657-3999 to place your order. We're open Sunday through Thursday 11 a.m. to 9 p.m. and Friday and Saturday 11 a.m. to 10 p.m. Whether you're celebrating a cozy date night for two or a celebration for a crowd, at Lamone's you'll love our atmosphere and friendly servers. Thank you for dining with Lamone's Mexican Restaurant.
Are you ready?
We all wonder what tomorrow will bring, but the future lays itself at the feet of the prepared and surrenders to the will of the persistent. It's not easy, but today shapes you so you can shape tomorrow. With Northeast Alabama Community College, when the future asks if you're ready, you can answer.
Yes.
Begin your future at Northeast Alabama Community College.
Okay, so we're back. My name is Donna Fiesel, and I'm your host of The Edge on ISC Radio, your source for news and entertainment. You can also find us on television, channel 182 on Charter Communications, and Abundance Television, which is found on Roku, Apple TV, and Amazon Fire. Make sure you check out the podcast, netnewsnetwork.net. And if you have any questions, or if you have a recommendation for a show topic, you can send that to Donna at donnasedge.com. The show's about you. It's not about me, and I'm making you happy. So anything you would like to hear about, let's go for it. As a matter of fact, this was a recommendation right here. I had no earthly idea it was pink tax. That's not tax. It just means you're paying more for women's items. So why do people pay more? We were talking about that just a minute ago. You know, women are paying $1,351 every year just for being a woman, because that's because of the pink tax. The average woman pays an extra amount, okay? And that can be for anything like a razor. I'll just start using blue razors from this point on. I'm not going to pay extra. So let's dig a little bit more. So we were talking about price sensitivity. Some manufacturers may find that a woman are less price sensitive, but I think that's wrong, because I know a number of us, well, we watch everything. I know when I'm shopping, I check things by the ounce, because sometimes, let's say your shampoo, sometimes you may think, well, I'll just go ahead and get the big bottle. But sometimes if you compare it by price, by ounce, you may find it's cheaper to get the smaller ones. Yeah, it works out that way sometimes. So let's not get ripped off by the pink tax. Let's not do that. How to avoid it. So we're gonna actually shop smarter. So don't get ripped off. Understand that when you're buying something that's definitely marketed for women, you may simply be paying for the packaging. So if you're truly out there for a wise purchase, make sure you comparison shop whenever possible. Check the ingredients of that body wash. And I mentioned that just a few minutes ago. I love a fragrance that men's shampoo smells like. I mean, I love it. And some of the soap products as well. And so check the ingredients. Make sure they're no different than the man's version. Now remember that it can be hard to tell from packaging what you're actually buying. So through the two products may be the same price, one may have less product in it, making it more expensive. So considering a large purchase like a home or a car, make sure you do your due diligence. Make sure you know the true value of the purchase you're making, and just ask around for the best rates. You know, sometimes women just don't do that. We just don't ask. Okay, now we talked about the personal care. Just a little bit earlier in the show, we were talking about personal care. 13% more we're paying for. Adult clothing, 8%. Home health care, we're paying 8% more. Toys and accessories for little girls, 7% more. Kids clothing, 4% more. Little girls clothing over the boys. Okay, so women pay the most for these items. Let's break it down just a little bit more. Shampoo, 48% more. So the average, now I would never pay this much for shampoo, but $8.39 for women versus $5.68 for men. Supports and braces, 15% more. So what we're going to pay for, say for a support or a brace, a woman would pay $37.17, whereas a man would pay $32.43. And we talked about this earlier too, and that's shirts. Women pay 15% more for a plain old button-down shirt. We're paying $29.23 per shirt. A man would be paying $25.51 for a shirt. Okay, basic haircuts. You gotta be kidding me. This is like short haircuts, okay? Women pay 40% more. Dry cleaning, we're paying 64% more. Car repairs, 30% more. Mortgage and interest rates, 0.4% more. Now, you got to shop around for those things. Now, let me make this clear, okay? So when you're shopping around for mortgage rates, remember every time you have your credit checked, it's a point that goes against you. So be really careful with doing that, okay? Be careful. I found that we were, Phil and I were in the cell phone business, and we owned 8 Nextel locations. And so we would have people who would comparison shop. First of all, if it's a particular company, it's all the same. It doesn't matter how many people you go to. But we would always ask the same question, because I would ask, now, have you been to another cell phone company? If they said yes, I would ask them a question, did you have your credit checked while you were there? If they said yes, I would explain to them that if I'm doing a credit check as well, extra points go against your credit. So again, be really, really careful when you're comparison shopping when it comes to credit. So let's say you go to a mortgage company, and make sure you ask, now, you're going to do like a full-blown credit check. Is this going to go against my credit history? Because those little points will add up. And by the way, you can have these free, it's online, creditkarma.com. And I use that. I check mine every week just to make sure some fool hasn't gotten into my credit and tried to destroy me. So you can go into that. That's a freebie. Creditkarma.com. CREDITKARMA.com. So again, if you're checking mortgages, be extremely careful. Okay, now the cost of slightly differences in materials could be passed on to the consumer as well. Maybe our material, particular color costs more. It's all about supply versus demand. Tariffs. And so they were talking about this earlier, where the average tariff on women's clothing is 15.1%, while men's clothing is taxed at 11.9%. And then say us women, we gotta have like different stuff. Like I wear a lot of black. I've probably got 30 black outfits, and because black looks good against the background and all that kind of stuff. If I wear something that looks real busy, and it's just something 101 if you are a television talk show host, and just change around jewelry helps, to wear something different. But if I wear a different color pink every day, that's going to cost more. A different color pink or a different color red. There are warm shades, there are cool shades, so keep all that stuff in mind as well. Now, some women believe women are less price sensitive, while men are willing to spend more for the same items. Now, how can you avoid getting ripped off by the pink tax? How is that possible? How can I possibly not get ripped off anymore? Okay, we're going to do like the dudes do. We're going to comparison shop. Okay, when it comes to cars and everything else. Oh, let me tell you something you can do. When you're shopping for a car, whether it's a new or a used one, now we don't have to with Bobby Ledbetter, but let me show you something you can do. You can have a little note. Have a little notebook with you. This is very intimidating for some people. So you got your little notebook, and so you've taken down the notes of what a particular car costs. Let's say you're looking for a BMW. You want it to be no older than 3 years, okay? So you've been to several different places. You got that BMW. You got, say you wanted a 3 Series, or you wanted a convertible, whatever it is you're looking for, and you're looking at that, and then you write it was a 4-door or whatever. You got the price here. I would let the little notebook be visible, okay? Or not show them the prices, but let them know that you went to XYZ Cars. But right now you're at ABC Car Company. And let them see that, because that intimidates them. First of all, that lets them know that you are a comparison shopper. They're not going to be able to just pull any wool over your eyes, because you got that going. So make sure you check ingredient list when it comes to, say, shampoo, sizes and materials, just to understand what you're really paying for. and negotiate. Please do that. When men negotiate, they get a discount of 35% every single time. And by the way, men only get 25% discount. Yeah. Now, go for the bargain. Buying bulk or choosing the generic brand are great. They're both great ways of cutting packaging and cost. Sometimes you can just buy neutral gender neutral. When picking out toys or clothes, opt for options that work for either gender. Do it that way. I've noticed this, like the Barbie dolls, like a Ken doll costs less than a Barbie doll cost. Yeah, that's something. We need to find out who in the world are making all these rules. You also need to support initiatives. Contact your local and state representatives to support movements like the Pink Tax Repeal Act. The Pink Tax Repeal Act. Just to make sure, So let's talk just for a minute about budgeting 101. We were talking about how to save money, so let's go ahead and continue on. Budgeting 101, so we're going to learn the fundamentals of creating your own budget and how you can use these tools like templates. And there's also an app called the Mint app, M-I-N-T. You can find it. It helps you to track your monthly spending. So let's talk about that. We've got 39 tips, and we're going to go into the next session with this as well, so how to save money. And this is 50 tips for the year 2023. So it's now. It's not something that was written 10 years ago. Okay, create a budget. Now, when learning how to save money, access how much you really have and where that money is going. So think about using the 50, 30, 20% rule to help you create a budget. What this means is 50% of your income for essentials like your rent and your food and things like that. 30% of your income for extras like entertainment. 20% of your income for savings and debt, like accounts that you owe that help with emergencies and retirement and things like that. You need to track your spending. I'm just telling you, before you know it, you spend a ton of money and you don't even know you've done it. So track your spending. You might be surprised at where your money is actually going every single week. Like going out to eat, and you eat out every single day for lunch and you work somewhere. Man, be careful. That stuff adds up for a while. And this is no time to keep up with the Joneses. Just because somebody wants to go to Applebee's and it costs more, and you just want some kind of a snack-like thing, bring your own, by the way. Because I always found this. So if I went out for lunch and I went with the crew, first of all, I worked with them. I didn't really want to go out to lunch with everybody. But if I went with them, first of all, you got time. You're going to be driving in the car. You got to stop at red lights and all that. Well, that takes some of the time away. You can't enjoy your food. So I always rather just brown bag mine and just be done with it. You know what? We're going to call it a close. Thank you so much for watching The Edge on IC Radio, your source for news and entertainment. You can also find us on television, channel 182 on Charter Communications, and Abundant Television, which is found on Roku, Apple TV, Amazon Fire, and please don't forget that podcast, netnewsnetwork.net. Any suggestions for the show, or you just want to send a text, or you'd like to be part of the birthday club and the anniversary club or date night club, you send an email. I need complete information though, so I need your name, when your birthday is, when the anniversary is, or why you want to be out on date night. You can send that to Donna at donnasedge.com. Again, thank you so much for watching. You take care.